What's going on, people? Mike C-Town here. So, in my last video, I told you guys about my recent trip to Norway. So if you have not watched that video yet, make sure you go check that one out first, then come back over here. But in that video, I mentioned that we also went to Spain. So that's what we'll be covering today. But yeah, after we left Norway, we caught a plane to Madrid, Spain. We had a straight shot, and it was like a 3 or 4 hour flight, I believe. Got us there in the early afternoon, and you know, we'd originally planned to go to Madrid, Granada, and I don't know if it's Seville or Sevilla, whatever that place is. But we eventually decided that it made more sense to just spend the last 3 days that we had in one place, and I'm actually really glad we did. So we got in and went straight to our Airbnb, which was really nice. Our host was this incredibly sweet woman named Adriana, who did not speak a drop of English, okay? Side note, that's actually one of the biggest differences between Norway and Spain for me, which my friend Myke actually told me beforehand. 90% of the people that we encountered in Norway spoke perfect English. This was the case for maybe 20% of the people that we encountered in Spain, which some Americans might find this really annoying or frustrating, but I actually found this to be a really cool experience. Anyway, back to Adriana. She was great. She found it hilarious that we couldn't really communicate with her. Got a bunch of laughs at me and my friend attempting to understand her. She actually even had no problem at all speaking directly into the translator that I had on my phone and just really laughed about it. But also, you know that really annoying thing that Americans do when we discover that the person that we're speaking to doesn't actually speak English? You know how we'll repeat the sentences back to them louder and much slower than we did before, as if they're actually hard of hearing or just stupid? Well, Adriana did that to us, and I found it absolutely hilarious. I loved her. The Airbnb was nice, but kind of weird. So this was the shower, and I couldn't for the life of me get this shit to work. It turns out that there's these knobs on the other side of the bathroom. You actually have to turn the hot and cold water on here, or nothing would work coming out of the sink or the shower. I don't know if this is a standard thing in Spain or if this is just isolated to this one place, but this was confusing as fuck. So we left there and had our very first meal in Spain, and it was at a place called the Mad Vegan. And let me tell you something, okay? This was some of the best vegan food I've ever had in my entire life. No exaggeration, no hyperbole. It was amazing. What you're seeing here, these are the tequeños, which were these dough sticks filled with cheese, and they came with this fruit jam to dip it in. Sounds weird, but it was bomb. We also had the vegan calamari. Sounds weird, but it was bomb too. I also had these tacos that were insanely good. And of course, I had to try a glass of authentic Spanish red wine, which was also insanely good. And the people that worked there were super friendly and helpful to these two dumbass Americans trying to make it in their city. From there, we actually went to a punk show. All right, I was really determined to see some sort of show while we were outside of the country because I've never seen that before. It didn't quite work out in Norway, but I found a small venue in Madrid where the band The Flatliners were playing, and I wasn't super familiar with them prior to seeing them, but I thought it would still be a really cool thing to do. Luckily, my boy pushed me to buy tickets to the show the night before because it actually ended up selling out the day of, and it was packed. All right, the opening band was called Mainline 10. I believe they're actually from there. And I actually thought they were really good punk rock, and they put on a great show. Lots of energy, clean playing, and they did a cover of a song that I would have never expected. I may have actually enjoyed them a bit more than the Flatliners, but they were great too. After this, we kind of just walked around the city a bit, which was nice. The next day, the plan was to get up and check out a few touristy places around Madrid. But before we could get our day started, we got to the train station and my homeboy got his credit card stuck in the machine at the train station, and we had to wait for about 30 minutes to get that taken care of. And as I said, very few people there speak English, so imagine trying to explain our situation to someone. It was an absolute shit show. But again, everyone was still really nice about it. Once we were able to get on the train, we rode it into the city. But yeah, even the train station was really interesting. Check this shit out, right? But the whole plan was I really wanted to check out this place called the Temple of Dabad. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly, but it's an Egyptian temple that dates back to the 2nd century BC. And for some reason, they transported the entire thing to Madrid. But on the way there, I stopped to get coffee. And side note for dumbass Americans, if you're getting coffee in Spain and you're used to fucking froofy-froof Starbucksy shit with a ton of milk, that ain't what you're gonna get in Spain. You're gonna get strong ass, black ass fucking coffee. So if that's your jam, cool. If it's not your jam, prepare yourself to be a little upset, okay? I actually thought it was delicious. But anyways, we looked across the street and I see this huge courtyard that looked interesting. So I suggested we cross the street to check it out. And it turns out it was the courtyard of the Royal Palace. And this place was beautiful. These gorgeous buildings, tons of people just walking around, taking pictures. There's music. Then there was an edge on one side where you can get this amazing view of the area. It was just beautiful. After there, we continued to walk and we went through this area with street performers dressed in costume. A few of them were actually dressed like Bumblebee. This guy actually got really pissed off because I took a picture, but I didn't pay him. That was stupid on my part, but I just didn't realize that was the situation. And I had no physical money, so I felt like a dumbass American piece of shit. But luckily, my friend had a couple of bucks, so I was able to give it to him because it would have been super whack if I got jumped by Bumblebee in Spain. Before we go any further, I'm gonna be saying a whole bunch of names. I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of all of these names. And I'm not gonna say every single time, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that properly. So just assume that I know I'm probably fucking the name up, okay? That said, we walked by their Cervantes monument, which was really dope. Then we ate at a place called Frutas Prohibidas, and holy shit, again, the food was amazing. This is the nachos, which were just dumb good. This was their vegan eggs Benedict, and it was almost angering how good this was. Angering because I don't understand how Americans can't or aren't making food like this. All of my years of being vegan, I've never had vegan eggs that tasted like this, okay? I don't even know what the hell they were made from, but they had this sort of gook on the inside and it just melted in your mouth. This was my face after the first bite. I wanted to cry. This shit was so goddamn good. And once again, friendly people dealing with dumbass Americans, you know? Something that I'm sure people not from America don't really get when they come here. After that, we made our way through the city to the Temple of Dabad. And yeah, it was actually really, really cool. I'd originally planned on going inside, but once we got there, there was a line down the block that looked like the wait was well over an hour. So we just got to see the outside, which kind of sucked, but I didn't want to waste so many hours of the day in a line, you know? But if I go back, which I definitely will, I'll plan ahead to get there early. There was also this area where you could go and see a large portion of the city, which was beautiful. And then it was just like a lot of walking around and seeing all of the amazing parts of Madrid. And I swear, it felt like every time you stopped and looked somewhere, it looked like a painting. We did go to the Puerta del Sol, but I don't think I got any pictures of it, but I do have pictures of Plaza Mayor, which was pretty cool. The next day, the main plan was to go to the Prado Museum, which was something I've wanted to do forever. But on the way there, we stopped and got brunch at a place called Freedom Cakes. It was this cute little cafe that specialized in American food, you know, pancakes, French toast, burgers, fries, that type of shit. This is the pancakes with tofu scramble, vegan bacon, and avocado toast. Honestly, it was just okay. There was nothing amazing because it honestly tasted like the food that I could make at home, which I guess was their plan. But yeah, it was good enough for a quick breakfast. They also had a sign with curse words on it. So of course my immature ass had to get a picture with it because, you know, like I said in the last video, curse words and I'm a fucking child. But yeah, a side weird thing that happened while we were there. We were eating and the waitress comes out and she starts screaming at this dude in Spanish. And after she kicked him out, she came over and she was apologizing to us and she explained that this guy keeps coming into the restaurant and trying to steal the tablet that they take orders on. Same guy all the time. It was actually really weird. Then we got to the Prado Museum, and let me tell y'all, man, this was an amazing experience. You weren't supposed to take pictures inside, so I only got these. But yeah, they had so many beautiful pieces that I've seen online and in books for decades, and I actually got to see them in person. The Triumph of Death, or Massey's Christ presented to the Pope. Picasso's Bust of a Woman, Van Dyck's Saint Rosalia, the triptych of the Redemption, man. We saw Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights. Seeing that in person, total mind fuck. But yeah, I was really hyped to see the Goya pieces that they had. So we saw Witch's Flight, which is one of my favorite pieces, and Christ Crucified, which was absolutely amazing in person. Seeing the Prado was worth the trip on its own. You know, seeing MoMA some years ago was like the pinnacle of museum experiences for me until this. You know, this was #1 so far. I think we were there for a couple of hours at least, but I could have seriously spent all day looking at this stuff. I saw what I wanted to see, but I felt a bit rushed because there were so many people there and you kind of feel pressured to get through the entire place in the allotted time. But yeah, I would absolutely love to go back. And that's how I felt about Spain as a whole. I would absolutely love to go back, especially because I really wanted to see the castles, but it turns out that they were all like an hour or more away from where we were, and it just didn't seem worth it. So yeah, so next time I'll probably spend the entire week there and maybe see some other cities. But yeah, Madrid was insanely beautiful, beautiful scenery, beautiful people, amazing food. I actually got to go to a couple of record stores as well. I don't remember the names of them. But yeah, I'll be showing those records in a Records and Rambling video, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, Spain, it's the first place outside the United States that I've really thought that this would be the place that I'd love to just move to. You know, there were moments on this trip where I was saying to myself that I just needed to learn Spanish and then pack up all my records and just go. You know what I'm saying? I can't see that place ever getting old to me. But yeah, if you've not been to Spain and you have the means, I would highly recommend it. Like, all this shit that I'm showing you and talking about is based on like 2.5 days there. Like, imagine what you could see in a week. You know what I'm saying? This place was beautiful. I think I liked it more than going to Norway, but it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Both the places were great, but Spain has my heart right now. So yeah, so that's it. If you have been there, make sure you drop some comments. Let me know what you thought of Spain. And shit, man, let me know where you think I should try to go next. Not like I'm some fucking jet setter with a ton of disposable income. No. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Keep an eye on the channel. I'll be dropping some other stuff very soon. But yeah, as usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Peace out. Boy. I was gonna do some whack ass fucking adios type shit, but God, that's I haven't fucking reached that level of boomer lame yet. It pops in my head and it gets there, like close to my mouth, and I somehow I'm able to stop it. So hopefully I'm able to retain that level of restraint, because Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, bye.